Welcome to the show, Man and Markets. You're most welcome, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Talking about pension, what's your assessment of Uganda's pension sector?
Uganda's pension sector has come a very long way. When you look back to the time the NSSF started, 1985, you look back to URBRA being founded in 2011, you actually find that Uganda's pension sector has begun to grow leaps and bounds. Actually, when you look at the retirement benefit, let me call it retirement benefit sector, you actually find that the whole sector is now growing at 20% per annum. That essentially means that arguably the retirement benefit sector in Uganda is now the fastest growing sector of the Ugandan economy. If it keeps its pace of growth and maintains that 20%, we will not be surprised if in the next 5 to 8 years the retirement benefit sector is actually bigger than the commercial banking sector. So my assessment of the sector is that it's promising, it's growing. Currently you have 68 retirement schemes licensed by Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority, and that essentially means that many Ugandans are coming to the realization we will contribute to the NSSF. It's a mandatory contribution. But over and above the NSSF, a number of organizations have set up voluntary occupational retirement schemes where they say as long as you work for us, you will be making a saving. It's give or take a forced saving. But at the end of the day, when you leave us, you go with some money.
Yes, Martin, your view on the technical capacity of those tasked with running the pension schemes. Have we built as a country the critical mass of manpower we need?
What I would say is that the technical capacity within the retirement benefits industry is growing. I cannot say that we are the best in Africa, because here we're sitting with a retirement benefit scheme totaling about 3 billion US dollars. But when you cross and go to South Africa, you essentially find they're already at 300 billion. Our friends in Nigeria are 30 billion. So what I can say is that with our 3 billion United States dollars, we're growing. And what I can say is that when you look at retirement benefit schemes and those who manage them, we have come a long way. And key in retirement benefit schemes is transparency.
And what contributions can players like Jomo make in this area?
Jomo Investments and Trustee Services is making the difference in this area. And how do we make the difference, and why do we make the difference? Many times the people who are tasked with the responsibility to manage retirement benefit schemes are actually elected members. So when you're elected, you may be the most popular, but you may not be the most technical or the one with the most understanding. Therefore, what we do is we come in and we equip you with the skills to be able to make that difference. So far, inside the industry, we've been able to train over 150 trustees. But now Uganda is beginning to tell its story. And what's the story? The capacity is now being evidenced, and a number of people, actually all the speakers, I would say 90% of the speakers rather, are Ugandans. And that's evidence to the fact that we have been able to make the impact together with other players within the industry, but Ugandans can now begin to tell their story in the retirement benefit sector. And truth be told, if you have a sector growing at 20%, there must be Ugandan technicality that's there that has delivered that growth.
Do you think that trustees of most of our pension schemes understand their roles?
A number of trustees have actually come to a point where they say they put up their hands and they've said, we don't quite understand what we are being asked to do. At the end of the day, what do? They say, give us some training. But there's another group that says, in spite of the fact that we think we know what we're supposed to do, how can we reference from the rest of Africa? How can we learn from South Africa? How can we learn from Kenya? And how can we learn from fellow Ugandans?
What is the potential of our pension sector in transforming this economy?
First of all, the retirement benefits industry is now 11% of Uganda's GDP, growing at 20% per annum, which essentially means that very soon we are going to be where the Asian tigers were. And where were the Asian tigers when they transformed the economy? The retirement benefits industry in those countries was at 20%. Once we can hit 20%, if we're able to harness that through Uganda's capital markets, then you'll find that that money will not only work to the benefit of the members who are doing those compulsory savings through the retirement benefit schemes, but it will now begin to work to benefit the economy. Truth be told, the retirement benefits industry partners with the capital markets industry. World over, 80% of investments in the capital markets actually comes from retirement benefit schemes. Now, what retirement benefit schemes in Uganda are saying, already at 11%, we don't have enough products on the capital markets of Uganda. Give us more products. So the challenge now is for the professionals like ourselves within this industry to begin to arise and put the products onto the capital markets. If we can put these products onto the capital markets, then we'll see increased profitability of our retirement benefit schemes.
Your performance projections for the sector in 2020?
My estimation is that the pension sector will maintain its growth of 20% in the year 2020, and it will then close in the range of 12 to 13% of GDP. Should the interest rate regime continue to favor us, then we could be lucky to move closer to 14% of GDP.
All right, it was nice hosting you on the show, Martin.
Thank you.